our Across the Aisle segment tonight. The left's war on the NRA is continuing, and it's expanded from the realm of politics to everyday life. The company Enterprise Rent-A-Car is cutting ties with the NRA, and Delta and United Airlines are canceling discounts for NRA members. This is virtue signaling at its finest. But what's more shocking here is the double standard. Liberals say the NRA buys off politicians, and that any elected official who has accepted campaign donations from the NRA shouldn't be allowed to talk about guns. But where is this standard when it comes to abortion and politicians who accept money from Planned Parenthood? With me now, history professor and author of Obama's America, Ian Reifowitz. Ian, good to see you.
Good to see you, Liz.
All right, Ian, talk to me about this. This boycott the NRA movement doesn't quite make sense to me. It seems like it's going to do nothing other than boost NRA membership and gun sales. Is that what liberals are trying to do?
No, that's definitely not what liberals are trying to do. Look, I think the culture of victimization on the right has reached a new high or maybe a new low here. I really think that after what happened last week at Parkland, that the real tragedy here is not that some people are not going to be able to get a discounted car rental here. We're talking about corporate America. Corporate America will always look to pad its bottom line. It's made a financial decision that it's going to be able to sell more car rentals or sell more airline tickets or whatever if they take an anti-NRA stance than if they give special discounts to NRA members. That's up to them to make that decision. We'll see if it hurts them on the bottom line or not. I don't see it as a particularly moral stance to either give NRA members discounts or to take away NRA members discounts. It's all for these corporations about the bottom line.
I don't agree. I don't think it's about finances at all. I mean, it's almost ridiculous to think it's a financial decision. I don't know why they gave discounts in the beginning. They're free to do whatever they want, but it's obviously a political move to withhold these discounts or cancel these discounts now. Essentially, what they're doing is they're castigating NRA members. They're saying the 5 million people who belong to the NRA, because the NRA represents them in the defense of their Second Amendment rights, that they are somehow culpable for this heinous murder by Nicholas Cruz that killed 17 people in Florida. That is not a financial statement. That's a horrible political statement.
I think you're giving a little too much credit maybe to these corporations. I don't think that they have especially strong political beliefs one way or the other when it comes to their marketing campaigns. I don't think that they're, by taking away a $25 discount, they're holding anybody morally culpable for anything. Look, I don't agree with the NRA's stances one way or the other, but what these corporations are doing is doing what they always do. They think they're going to get more people to feel good about enterprise by cutting these NRA standards discounts than they are going to offend. Then they're going to lose by offending NRA members. I don't know whether that's true or not. The NRA has 5 million members. There are well over 100 million gun owners in the United States. So that means there are 95 million gun owners who aren't NRA members. So there is a range of opinions. Certainly, the NRA doesn't represent all gun owners by any stretch of the imagination. I don't know what's going to be the impact of these corporate decisions, though. I really don't.
Right. I guess I just think corporate boycotts are stupid in general, no matter what side of the aisle. To me, it's pretty obvious that it's part of the I don't want to take part in them. I think they're ridiculous. But I do think it's part of this greater war on the NRA by the left. Instead of sitting here and blaming the people who are culpable, number one being the killer himself, number two being the law enforcement who let him slip through the cracks, the FBI, the Broward County Sheriff's Department, and then the school for not reporting him when he needed to be reported to law enforcement. Why are we blaming the NRA and not the people actually responsible for this tragedy?
Well, that's a different question. I mean, Enterprise can't hold the sheriff responsible. Obviously, they have nothing to do with it. Enterprise can't
and the NRA
hold
does?
the FBI responsible or anybody else. Oh, I didn't say the NRA. The NRA, look, but you want to talk about the corporate discounts, we can move to the broader issue. And there is the issue of the NRA takes positions, as you said, and there is a lot of data that indicates that those positions do cause more gun crime and more gun violence. It's not an accident that
how many mass shooters in our recent history have been NRA members?
Who cares? Why do they have to be NRA members? NRA advocates for laws.
Because liberals are blaming the NRA. They are calling NRA spokeswoman Dana Lash a murderer and a killer. They are actively blaming people who are part of the NRA for the death of these 17. That's why it matters.
That's wrong. I don't know who you found who's calling Dana Loesch a killer. That's unfair, and I wouldn't go along with that. The NRA advocates for laws. Those laws do lead to more violence and more death than we would have if we had tighter gun laws.
What laws are you talking about? Are you talking about our Second Amendment?
I'm talking about I'm talking about gun control laws.
So our Second Amendment.
Massachusetts, Rhode Island, New York, Hawaii, Connecticut, New Jersey, all states where the Second Amendment still exists, is still protected. But those 6 states have the lowest gun death rates. Those are 6 states with the tightest gun laws. The states that have the loosest gun laws have the most gun violence. It's not hard to connect those two things. That doesn't mean every
that's not factually accurate. Ian, you know this. We've talked about this before.
That is fact.
We've talked about this before, and you can look at Chicago as a perfect example. You can look at Baltimore as a perfect example.
Fine.
You can look at any city around the country. People who have a right to conceal carry, towns that have a high number of concealed carry permit holders have a lower rate of violent crime, of murder. That's simply a fact. You can twist it. You can admit that you don't like the Second Amendment, that you don't like guns, that liberals want to make it harder for law-abiding citizens to have guns. But the fact of the matter is, when law-abiding citizens are armed, our cities are simply safer. We do have to go here. Unfortunately, we're out of time for today. But Ian, thanks for being on the show.